Hello once again, my fellow doctors. I am OXM, and in one of my recent community posts here on YouTube, I asked you, the viewers, for the next video topic. All of this will become a video in the future, along with Gacha Game Protax Part 2, but for now, let us begin this explanation. Terra, a world that many say would be doomed, filled with conflict, catastrophes, and a deadly plague. Many empires have risen and fallen through the ages, and only the most resilient can dominate the hostile environment and call this world their home. Such is the case with the nation of Castel, formerly known as Tikas, a country that in modern day is considered underdeveloped and with little potential. This is a product of many conflicts and losses, their history ridden by civil war and a struggle for survival. But a long time ago, Tikas was more than just a country. It was a name used to describe the whole world, a paradise that was lost. The arrival of the ancients and their leader race, the Elders, threw the world into chaos and war, and in the end, these ancients would be victorious, taking over the world and leaving the survivors of Tikas to collect the scraps. These survivors would be renamed as the Sarkaz. The Sarkaz were shunned and persecuted following their loss. Many ancients would demonize them by accusing them of horrible things, like witchcraft, cannibalism, being violent by nature, and also being very susceptible to ripathy. The name of Sarkaz would become a sign of shame, but it would also serve as a rallying cry for the original inhabitants of Terra. We know all of this thanks to the advanced arts that the Sarkaz possess, enabling them to share their memories with other members of their race. This is how the history of the Sarkaz has been preserved, and is the same method in which their prophecies tend to stand. One of these prophecies is the one of the king of the Sarkaz, the one that banded all the Sarkaz subspecies together and founded the kingdom of Castel. This mythical position of king is fueled by the rage and resentment of their predecessors, but is this rage that also drives other Terran nations to keep Castel fragmented so they can't become a threat. By the beginning of the Arknights timeline, Castel had been taken down 3,421 times. The latest attack on Castel was made by the combined efforts of Gaul, Victoria, and Leithanion. The latter used to be under the Sarkaz banner, but they opted for betrayal, and rose as the Sancta. Still trying to maintain the fragmented Castel as a non-threat, these nations infiltrated the Castelian nobility and stirred up the country to keep them in a state of turmoil and avoid its reunification. It is within this last attempt at reunification that the reigning Sarkaz king, Theresa, opted to improve the lives of the Sarkaz people under her rule. This led her to establish the organization Tower of Babel, their creed to resolve the livelihood of the Sarkaz. Babel was created using brilliant thinkers and scientists like Kaltzit, Closure, and the Doctor, but it also employed soldiers and mercenaries. While it worked under a good cause of improving lives, the resistance of other Castilians and their foreign allies forced them to act in order to defend themselves. This fighting force also helped Babel to act against Theresis, the brother of Theresa. During an operation, mercenaries like Ines, Hoder, and W escorted members of Babel through a war zone, but they were ambushed. Luckily, Kaltzit and Theresa were able to save them and lead them to a recently discovered landship called Rhodes Island. Time later, only W would remain as a mercenary helping Babel. Yes, indeed, Rhodes Island is the name of the landship that hosted Babel for a while. It was originally owned by the Rim Biliton Company, and they would remain allies of Babel until their dissolution and beyond. We have no idea how long Babel existed. What we know for sure is that they existed during Theresa's rule and the subsequent civil war. Unfortunately, the organization would meet its end by the year 1094 of the Terran calendar. During the Autumn Siege, a betrayal would come at the hands of the Doctor, who personally killed Theresa. But in her final moments, she scrambled Doctor's memories and would leave him with amnesia so he could help the remnants of Babel in the future without guilt. Without a leader, Babel would eventually dissolve. Some of the members defected and joined Theresa's side, while others followed the life of a mercenary. The members that stayed would later reorganize into the pharmaceutical company of Rhodes Island. In the end, Babel was an organization with a noble purpose, under the leadership of caring rulers and smart investigators. However, the hostile nature of the world led them through a violent path that affected the morality and views of its members. But the lasting effects can be felt in modern Terra. The name of Babel can instill many responses, from fear to hope and nostalgia. But the future is now in the hands of Rhodes Island. Created under many of Babel's directives and with many former members, there still may be hope for the future and the peaceful world that Theresa once longed for. So, that is it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment what do you think about the Sarkaz history that led to the creation of Babel, and what do you think will happen in the future. I read all comments and heart many of them. Remember to like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more historical content. Check out the stream where I love to talk about lore and tell bad jokes. This was OXM, and I will see you doctors in the next one. Bye bye.